This is such a special place. You drive through the streets of Green Bay, no tall buildings, quaint houses, and then boom, right there in the middle of the neighborhood is iconic Lambeau Field. That's going to be taken at the goal line, and he'll return it. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now the veteran workhorse. Here's James Conner. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way down to the 29. A huge play there right off the bat. 48 yards. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
Right back to Conner here on first. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I'd keep going back to him.
Now 2nd and 5. They stay on the ground. Here's Conner again. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Here's Murray. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Fourth down, Murray off, and the Cards field goal unit and Matt Prater out there now. Prater's kick is good, and the Cardinals have the first points. It's 3-0. Had just the one big play on the drive, but that was enough to put him in field goal range.
Yeah, one big play of what they hope will be many others throughout the game. Every team has a different target for the number of plays like that, those explosives that we talk about. That allowed them to put points on the board on that drive. Let's see how the rest of the game goes.
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. Love going to break the huddle, lead the Packers up here 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Short throw, he's got Kraft. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive INT.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 46. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. Down to the 42, 2nd down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
2nd down at 6 now from the 42. Love. Quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time they were up to the challenge.
And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Love now. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely, as one of the better coaches in the league always tells me. On offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping in one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive. How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early, but it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
I think that run gives us evidence that the defense is getting a little bit tired out there. They've been out in the field for a long time, and that last run, they just cut right through them.
They got to get to the 23 here on third. To pass, here's Jordan Love. He's got his target. That's complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 18. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Second down, Jacobs once more. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Josh Jacobs taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Packers have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Here's Murray. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Murray a give. This is Connor. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 85 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Boy, some big runs here, Charles, already in this first quarter.
Yeah, if the lanes are there, go ahead and exploit them. But what I like the most, how decisive he is, putting his foot in the ground and going.
Murray now. Man open, here is Jones. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Zay Jones, 55 yards. And the Cards have retaken the lead. Pretty good response. They had given up the touchdown and the lead, but they struck back.
And I love the way that they just saw it happen, took a quick exhale on the sidelines. So let's go get it back and fast. Let's go ahead and throw the ball downfield and get our own 6 points.
A huge chunk play to regain that lead. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. It was Josh Sweat who got him down on the defensive side.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
On play action. Love to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Jacobs. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And now it's 3rd and 3.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get it out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
That is caught and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down in bounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Open man, he's got Reed. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 36. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going, and if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Out of the shotgun, it's Love. He'll complete this one to Watson. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. From the 33, here's 2nd down and 7. Love looking to throw it. Short throw, he's got Kraft. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and 2.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Now Love. He finds his man, complete. It's Reed. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And coming into this ball game, this was an offense that wasn't just talking about the notion of ball control. They were preaching it. They want to win the time of possession battle, and they've done so here. This drive's taken up quite a bit of the first quarter. Now they are set up 1st and goal.
Here's Jacobs. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. Moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Tucker Kraft, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers have moved out in front.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead is now 14-10. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And a touchback as Dortch elects not to return it. The football going back over to Arizona now. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive. So we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Connor going to get it again on 2nd down. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37. We are in for a good one as we're through 1 on EA Sports. Cardinal football here to start quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. To throw is Murray. That'll be caught by Dortch. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. His first catch, good for 9 and a 1st down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. three 3-yard gains, that means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
Murray going to throw. And Wilson with it, complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 24-yard line. A very solid gain of 27.
Brandon, what's even more impressive is that came against double coverage. He gashed them with that reception, even with the extra focus that he drew from the defense.
To throw, it's Murray. Pass complete there to Harrison. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting them in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
They run behind center with Conner, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Throwing now is Murray. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down. So on is Matt Prater now to try a field goal here. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. Prater's kick is good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So the margin shrinks a bit as back-to-back drives here for him in with field goals.
Yeah, we know no one's turning down 3, especially in the first half, but you've got to finish these drives in the end zone. That's got to be a priority. Nice to have a reliable kicker, but outside of his agent, you know you'd rather him kick 1-pointers instead of 3-pointers.
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. And now the Packers get set to go. So for this offense, Charles, remember drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2 resulted in a touchdown as well. Now they'll try to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, and you know, they told us all week that this was the plan and this is what they wanted to execute, but did they really believe it would happen this well, this efficiently? I know they'll take it, and afterwards they'll say, there was never a doubt in our minds we were going to be successful in this one.
And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 67 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. Not only an explosive play, but an explosive run. I mean, broken tackles along the way to pick up that yardage.
The way things kept churning for him, feet were moving, the legs were driving. Looks like someone who spent his off-season working on hill work, running through sand, all the things that you want to build up those leg muscles.
And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Now a 2nd and 10. In motion, the tight end. Here's Love. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger gain.
Throwing. Love. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 35. The drive stays intact with a pickup of 13.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Going back to Love. That's complete to Dobbs. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll make it second down. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. To throw now. Here's Love. Short throw. He's got Kraft. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And now it's 3rd and 3.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. That'll go as a pickup of 8.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Love from the gun. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Jacobs going to try the middle. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
Already a pair of 3rd down conversions for them on this drive, but right now they need 5 yards on this 3rd down try. Back to throw. Love finds his receiver, Watson. And the Packers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He was trying to get his 2nd touchdown already in the first half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a 2nd. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. One more time with Jacobs. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Operating from the gun. Love. Touchdown, Packers. Romeo Doubs from 4 yards out. And the Packers are able to widen their advantage. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game and no signs of slowing down.
McManus's point after is good, and the lead is up to 8. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
I can't be sure how much of that was planned pre-snap, but it certainly opens up some avenues for their offense. And if he can stay a threat to break off those kind of runs, it'll pull defenders away from coverage and open up some choice throwing lanes for him moving forward.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. And some room to roam now. And some pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. 102 yards rushing now for Connor and a first down.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
Here's Murray. He'll get that complete to Harrison. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be second down.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch. Not much yardage afterwards.
2nd and 5. Connor up the middle. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Murray now to throw. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 25-yard line. The third down conversion is successful. Give them 12 yards that time.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on third down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary that time fighting free and getting to the quarterback. Well, we've seen how this quarterback can beat you with his legs. Saw it earlier on this drive, as a matter of fact, but that time they had him covered.
They really gave him no place to escape because oftentimes they're able to find a crack, a sliver, anything that can get them upfield. On that occasion, nothing open at all, and they swarmed him. Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Marvin Harrison Jr., 31 yards. And the Cardinals get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Prater on to add the extra point. And this is now a 1-point game. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. On the return, here's Jaden Reed. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Packers with a football here late in this first half. And with a 1-point lead, you'd have to think they'll be looking just to get this to halftime. To pass, here's Jordan Love. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Second and 12. Love. Now this aired out deep for Reed. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. This time they stay on the ground. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. On fourth down, the Packers call on Daniel Whelan to punt. Greg George deep for Arizona. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over first and 10. Now Murray. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
After the incomplete pass, here now is second and 10. Here's Murray. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Well, that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, third and long. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. Now the Packers going to burn their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Blake Gillikin on to punt now on fourth down. And that's a 48-yard punt with a coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out first and 10. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Well, the Packer offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I liked what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
107 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Second down, Jacobs once more. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that, the nickel look. 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then? You take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off for a little. And oftentimes you can run the football effectively against that defense.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Once again, it's Jacobs. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Third and 12. Love now. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up fourth down.
You know, in boxing, they throw in the towel. In this case, you just kind of wave the white flag, and you think to yourself, if he could just get past that initial wave, he's got a chance to get free. But that screen, it was going nowhere from the start. It forces a fourth down.
On now is the Packers punter, as he'll punt it away for the second time. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively, just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down. This is Connor running right. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Well, partner, I don't think it's any secret that any running back wants to be able to see a hole open so that he can gallop through it. But in this case, he had to slow down. There was really no hole there, and he took a big hit in order to get that 1 yard.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's second and 9. Out of the gun, here's Murray. Out to the right here to Wilson. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. So 8 yards on the completion there. And that'll bring up what looks to be a third and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Murray now. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Looking to throw. Murray. A short one here, caught by McBride. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line. And that is not near enough. It'll go as a gain of 4. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on 3rd down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a 1st down.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Pass incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now Love. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
On now is the Packers punter as he's on here to punt it away. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And out will come the offense as they take over. So out now come the Cardinals. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. They start with a give to Connor. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
To throw is Murray. Forced out to his left. There he goes again, and all the way down to the 25-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Well, that turned out better than most of the passes he could have thrown on that snap. The coverage downfield was excellent, but the containment close to home left him a backdoor escape, and they paid dearly for not locking up.
On the handoff, Connor. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Now Murray, he bootlegs it. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Kyler Murray, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Cardinals have taken the lead here in this 3rd quarter. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
Oh, Davis from the top rope. I like it. And he will find the end zone here, and the lead moves up to 7. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This fielded right at the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Green Bay's offense ready to go again. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get them much at all.
No, not at all, and that leaves them with 3rd and long, which means you got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
In motion left goes Watson. Love looking to throw it. Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. The corner blitz pays off there as they sack him for a loss of 5. Well, their first sack of the game, and it doesn't come from a usual suspect, not somebody up front, but Charles, a defensive back getting in there.
And I can tell you from experience, he's beyond excited to make that play, because you're exactly right. It isn't normal to call his number to run at the quarterback like that. Usually you're defending the pass, but he takes full advantage and dumps him to the turf.
A 40-yard punt, no return, and it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. They have played so strongly. You look at the scoreboard, you probably, with the way they played, you would think the margin would be a lot bigger, right?
You would, and in your experience, how many times have we run into coaches where they've talked about, hey, we just want to put it in the hands of our defense and have them win the game? In this case,
yeah, not the case.
Not at all. You want to put it in the hands of your offense, but you always feel better about saying defense because you think defense is a constant and offense kind of comes and goes. Today, this game, no, they need their offense to stay on a really hot level.
They've been hot so far. Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Murray going to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Connor. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
And just nowhere to go for Connor. Defense gets to him, and they mark him short.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
Here comes the Cardinals punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest. But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And quickly out wide, this is Watson. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. They'll run right here with Jacobs. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They all go buy them dinner. But after a play like that, he might reduce it, might go to the corner and just grab a hot dog or two, huh?
Hey, I mean, they've still been blocking for him well in this game. They don't get one mulligan up front.
Okay, so what we're saying then is we're going petite filet instead of porterhouse. How's
8 ounce.
that?
8 ounce is good.
All right, just checking.
Back now at Lambeau. It's the Packers who have the football, but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. It's Zaven Collins who got in there to get the sack.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Back to throw. Love. That is caught down inside the 10. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Romeo Doubs, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Packers are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. Now couldn't take the chance. This will be returned from the goal line. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown. All tied up in the 4th quarter. And a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. He'll start the drive with a give to Connor. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
2nd down and 8. Throwing now is Murray. He'll get this to Connor underneath. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here. They'll try and run for it with Connor. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Here comes the Cardinals punter now. He's been terrific so far. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return, and it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
They'll break the huddle, send 3 receivers left, 1 to the right on 2nd and 5. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Nowadays, quarterbacks don't mind throwing into coverage because of the confidence they have in their receivers to come down with the ball. But sometimes you have to be careful you don't get too confident and throw an interception.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. In motion goes the tight end. Here's Love. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Love, they go play action now. Same target. It's Jacobs again. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give them a short yardage situation here for 2nd down.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
Now a give to Jacobs running right. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first.
Brandon, unfortunately, I've been here before. They've had 2 opportunities to stop them, so this is demoralizing. They haven't gotten it done. Now you're calling all your blitzes, all your attack defenses, but you're not worried about playing your normal position. You're going to take chances now.
Well, you said it. 2 third-down opportunities to get off the field. Couldn't do it, and the clock continues to roll. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
2nd and 9. They will run the draw with Jacobs. And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
A field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on 3rd down. Working out of the gun. Love. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And oh, he's just going to be short here. Barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Now stopped him in his tracks. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the fourth quarter. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at the 20. The tight end in motion right. It's Connor as they stay on the ground. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Brought down that time by Quay Walker. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Shotgun now for Murray. Pass complete there to Harrison. 2 yards on the pickup there. 3rd and 7 now.
But there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is to throw. It's Murray. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
He certainly had plenty of success running the ball, and right now I'm getting this sense that he's looking to take off and run every time he steps back to throw it.
But they did a nice job there collapsing on him and holding him to a short gain. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll get a few yards here to the 34.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
Play fake. Here's Love. And he will slide down with the first down for the moment. But a penalty flag on the field. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have to contend with a 3rd and 13.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Big strides, look at him go. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
Talk about a momentum shifter right there. Tie game, 4th quarter. These are the plays that win you games. And now defensively, the question becomes, how do you respond?
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And he'll take this down to the 33. Second down, Jacobs once more. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4, You've got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage, and that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
Try to run for it with Jacobs. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down. Now a timeout called for by the defense, as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. This is 1st and 10. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here comes 2nd down. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. An important one here, no doubt. 3rd and 4. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
A big play looming on 3rd down. Jacobs going to try the middle. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
The kick by McManus is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. Greg Dortch returning. Here we go on the return from the 1-yard line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Kyler Murray now in the Cardinal offense. Down 31-28, 24 seconds to go. They need at minimum 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. Murray to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Lucas Van Ness in there to drop him as that clock continues to run.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
Murray, one final try. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Well, it took us until the final play, Charles, to officially decide a winner. Although on that last play they were so backed up, it would have taken a miracle, and they couldn't get that miracle done.
Well, I like how you stayed with it because we both knew that this had to go down to the last play, and neither side was going to exhale until that play concluded because we've seen the improbable before. A couple of laterals, maybe some poor defense on the back end. They might have gone all the way to the end zone. In this case, though, it didn't happen. Perhaps next time.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Packers are winners here as we say so long.